week. Those details on the way as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The solar eclipse saw large gatherings across the Commonwealth to see something people in the U.S. will not see again for another 20 years. While some areas got a good view of the eclipse, some here in Hazard were patiently waiting like we were outside. WYMT's Jack Demler has more from the Challenger Learning Center.
Hundreds of people poured into the Challenger Center to sign up for a special occasion.
We definitely wanted to do a big event, as big as we could, because this is the last time that the continental U.S. is going to see a solar eclipse for at least another 20 years. So we wanted this to be very special, and we wanted to distribute as many safe solar viewing glasses as we could, just so that everyone could view the eclipse and have a good time, but also not damage their eyes.
An event that saw more than 2,500 safety glasses distributed. But as more than 250 people started to look to the skies, most of what they were looking for was covered up.
At first, I thought I wasn't going to be able to see it, and I was going to have to wait until I'm like 70 years old to see another one.
While the first couple hours of the solar eclipse was mostly covered by cloud coverage here in Hazard, many families still sticking around for the chance to see the solar eclipse peeking through.
And it was like a cookie had been bit, and it looked so cool. And I don't even know how to explain it. It was just so cool.
Giving people an experience of a lifetime and setting up excitement for years to come.
I'm so excited to see the next one because I'm going to see it through a new point of view. I'm going to be so much older, and it might mean something else to me.
In Hazard, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Prior to the eclipse, the Challenger Center hosted a safety class to prepare people for the eclipse. And eclipse viewing was going on throughout the mountains, not just here in Hazard. Here's a photo that sports reporter Armando Berry grabbed in Jenkins. You can see it looks like a waning crescent moon. I'm sure there are more images like that across the region. Here's a photo that was submitted by someone in the Big Sandy area. We appreciate Travis Sparks for sending this one to us from Paintsville. He says it was taken on 239 North Mayo Trail around 3:11 p.m. That was about the peak time. Well, we have another image from someone in Johnson County, this one from the Van Leer area. Again, these pictures of the partial solar eclipse this afternoon in eastern Kentucky. We were not in the path of totality. You had to go way out west to around Paducah for that. And here's another one from Pikeville, this one courtesy of Kathy Dotson in the WYMT Weather Spotter group. We've received many other photos of the eclipse, or a lot of good ones too. Certainly a memorable event that will not happen anywhere close again for quite some time.
Well, we are still battling some clouds and a few showers across the region on this Monday evening. Up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler. For most of us, we are dry right now, but notice in the Big Sandy Valley, close to the Kentucky and West Virginia border, not too far away from Belfry, watching out for a few sprinkles, pushing into places in Logan, also in Mingo counties in West Virginia. But again, for most of us, we are dry at this hour. A live look from the WYMT studios, that current temperature up to 70 degrees, and most of us in the upper 60s to lower 70s, up to 68 for Middlesboro, also in Jonesville, 70 for Hazard, and 71 for Jackson, also in Manchester at this hour. So we are warm and we stay mild for most of this week, also tracking some more rain chances as early as tomorrow. This evening, most of us are dry, only a small chance of a passing shower or sprinkle. And those lows to wake up in the morning in the middle to upper 50s. But I do want to put this on your radar. This is on Thursday. Watching out for possibly another strong storm threat on Thursday. This is a level 2, slight risk of severe weather from Somerset to Hazard to Pikeville and back to the north. So we are watching out for some showers on Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly some storms by Thursday. More details on that forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. In Laurel County, police are asking for help finding a man they say is wanted. Take a look at your screen. London police say they are looking for 37-year-old Teddy J. Osborne. They say he is a non-compliant sex offender. If you have any information about where he is, you can contact the department at 606-878-7000. All right, big sports story. Kentucky basketball fans are waiting to see what happens next as far as the coach of the team. John Calipari is reportedly leaving for Arkansas. The men's program will likely have a new leader for the first time in 15 years. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to fans about the possible changes in store.
We're going to be okay. It's just going to be different.
Kentucky Sports Radio was a huge sounding off forum for Kentucky fans Monday morning.
I think a lot of the callers are disappointed to see it end, but think it's probably the right time.
Fans were able to tune in an hour earlier to hear the latest news and also share their thoughts on the future of the program. Many fans say that it's not necessarily good news, but that it needed to happen.
As a Kentucky fan, over the past 5 years, I've been really let down. Tournament time and everything. Love Calipari and all he's done for Kentucky, but I think it's time for new changes.
Conversations are quickly turning to who the new coach will be and how soon we will all know who that person is. Fans remember what it was like in 2009 when Coach Calipari was hired. It's surreal to think about starting that process all over again.
Being on a short deadline time, you have to get somebody within the week, I think, very soon.
And I think this fan base needs a jolt of excitement. I think a new coach will do that. You see that down the street at Louisville, right? Like they get a new coach, they're very excited. They didn't know who he was 2 weeks ago, and now they're thrilled. That's just anything new happens.
Jones says it's sad because of what Calipari accomplished, but sometimes things need to end. In Lexington, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Most fans agree decisions need to be made quickly to ensure a stable roster for next season. We'll have more on Coach Cal later in sports, including some video apparently of him walking his dog this afternoon that our sister station got in Lexington, and he would not answer any questions. Well, more than 1,000 bills have been introduced this legislative session. Some of the more talked about pieces of legislation are still waiting on Governor Andy Beshear's decision. The Commonwealth's 2024 budget is just one of them. Governor Beshear can use what's called a line item veto, or the ability to cancel specific provisions of a bill. Beshear has through tomorrow to decide on those bills before lawmakers reconvene on Friday and Monday. Be a big day for the governor tomorrow. He's also going to make a couple of stops in eastern Kentucky. The first will be at the Wayland Area Volunteer Fire Department in Floyd County. Beshear is set to arrive around 2 p.m. to meet with local leaders and partners to celebrate the building site of new higher ground homes. The governor will also be in Pike County later for a ribbon cutting at the new Pikeville Senior Citizen Center. That's scheduled to take place a little after 3:30 p.m. Later this week, or maybe next Monday, the state Senate will hold its first ever confirmation process for a Kentucky Education Commissioner. Lawrence County Superintendent Dr. Robbie Fletcher is the state school board's choice. He is a Martin County native who has run the schools in Lawrence County for almost 10 years. The legislature inserted a Senate confirmation process in the law in recent years, and this is the first time it's being used. One Clay County business has been open for 3/4 of a century, and now officials are looking to expand. WYMT's RJ Johnson has more.
For nearly 75 years, Jackson's Manchester Lumber Company has sat on Railroad Avenue. However, that will soon change.
We are very excited. We can't wait to get into a new building. With a building that old, there's always a lot of problems, a lot of issues going on.
Clay County Judge Executive Tommy Harmon says the company means a lot to him and is excited to see it in a new place.
Before I got to be county judge, I done carpenter work. My grandfather did it, my dad did it, and I did it, so I've grown up over there. And I was kind of mixed emotions about tearing the building up. She says she's going to keep it, so that's a great idea.
Manchester Mayor Steve Collins says the project will also bring new jobs to the city.
And I'm just glad to see it expand. It keeps economic development. They're going to hire more people. I'm sure you guys are going to have a different inventory list, which means more of our residents can stay here and buy what they need, not have to go to London or somewhere else or order it online.
Owner Donna Jackson says the most important part is that it will be better for those using their services.
Well, everybody we've talked to said they can't wait for us to get up here because it's going to be a lot better for our customers. It's going to be a lot better for our delivery people, a better location.
With hopes of staying around for another 75 years. In Manchester, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Jackson says they hope to be in the new location sometime between this fall and next spring.